Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs facing more time behind bars. His release date pushed back to June of 2028 instead of May of that same year.
Everybody knew Diddy had a dark streak, the kind that made people nervous, but Jaguar Wright's claims make him sound way more twisted than anyone expected. If what she's dropping is real, we're not just talking shady behavior anymore. We're talking next-level foul moves that hit a whole different category of messed up.
Oh, if that's even possible. Because if he was able to pull this off before he was a billionaire, look at what we got going on now. Derek replies, "This is illegal." And Sean Combs, Kim Elworthy are all behind this, and you're going to just sit there and let this happen, Your Honor. And the judge says, gotta pay the bills somehow.
According to Jaguar, things get real wild because she claims Diddy allegedly assaulted a grown man back in 1997, and the situation even made it into a courtroom, but somehow the public never heard a word about it. That silence wasn't an accident. It said the government stepped in and buried the whole thing just to keep Diddy out of the spotlight, which is shocking on its own. But why would anybody in power move like that for him? What were they trying to protect, and what did they get in return? The way Jaguar tells it, there's a real possibility Diddy wasn't just an artist. He might have been playing both sides, acting as some kind of federal helper who eventually went off the rails. This story gets crazier by the minute.
You to do is they want you to hammer me, and they want you to pressure me, and they want you to try to put me in the grinder and see if I'll fall apart. And guess what? Welcome it. Please.
This is exactly the kind of story we're diving into today, and it's no small situation. This reveal could actually push Diddy's sentence even further, and Jaguar says her own safety is shaking because she refuses to stay quiet about it. She explained that everything links back to a case from 1998, a case almost nobody even knew existed. She said the paperwork told the story of a man named Derek Lee Cardello Smith, someone she claimed sat behind bars for 28 years for something he never did. According to her, Derek's whole situation connected straight to Diddy, which is wild on its own. Jaguar explained that Derek was listed as the defendant in a case saying he harmed a man named Carl Bishop, and she even pulled out the table of contents from the file to show the names lined up in black and white. But then she dropped an even heavier claim. She said the same file held documents naming Diddy as a suspect in a completely separate incident involving both Derek and Carl. Jaguar said the file had medical records, an incident report, and other paperwork putting Diddy's name right next to some extremely serious accusations.
The incident report identifying Sean Combs as the assault suspect. Well, do you understand what that means?
Hey.
Do you understand what that means? What I'm holding right here in my hand in this device that I uploaded for protection of the records. See, while everybody was busy watching that sham of whatever that was supposed to be to make people think that that guy actually was finally handled up on in some way, shape, or form, God was busy making sure that these very real findings came to me. Do you see what I'm telling you?
No, definitely.
There's a great kid. And the diddler is the assailant. His DNA found inside a man.
She said those documents made it clear that evidence in Derek's case was handled all wrong, and the people with authority allegedly knew exactly what they were doing. According to her, the paperwork hinted that Derek got blamed for things he never did, while the real trouble came from somebody else entirely, somebody with serious pull and enough influence to dodge the fallout.
Hello, Smith said, Your Honor, I want to say this much. My mother is going to have to hear me say lies. And then she's going to think that I'm this type of person that I'm not. I'm not this kind of man that people are forcing me to be. I want it to be clear that you can say on the record that I am a man who defended a woman and myself, and that I am being framed for multiple crimes that I am innocent of, and you know it, and are still forcing me into this with your full knowledge. Are you man enough to say that on this court record, sir? And the judge's response is, I am more than man enough to say so. Everything you said, I adopt on the record as true. You are not a rapist. You have been framed. And it was all done on our approval, and most especially on the approval of Kim L. Worthy. Are you happy now? Derek responds, hopefully one day this will all come out. The judge says, not today. Take it.
She said she even uploaded those documents as a safety move, just in case anything ever happened to her copies, which makes the whole situation feel straight up chilling. The idea that Derek could get framed in a courtroom right out in the open while Diddy's name is tied to the mess is unbelievable. And what makes it hit even harder is seeing Derek still fighting to prove he's innocent, giving everything he's got, only for it to feel like nobody in power ever cared enough to listen. This is wild.
Plus, this is illegal, and Sean Combs, Kim L. Worthy are all behind this, and you're going to just sit there and let this happen, Your Honor. And the judge says, gotta pay the bills somehow. And the witness, Kim L. Worthy, says, amen to that.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Damn. So, Jack, when you see the words "justice for Diddy," what does justice look like to you?
I don't know if that's even possible. Because if he was able to pull this off before he was a billionaire, look at what we got going on now. See, this is bigger than anything that any of us can talk about. This is in Detroit. Who would ever think that the diddler had action where he could move things around like this in Detroit? And we're talking all the way back in the 90s. And every time this man has been about to come up for parole, Kim Worthy goes and gets one of those great kits that she's been holding on to and just throws it on him. And he's back, he's got to stay in jail. You don't remember right after Diddy was taken into custody, that story that came out about the inmate that sued him for $100 million and won on a default judgment? Y'all don't remember hearing about that right after he was arrested?
Yeah, it was so many lawsuits, but yes, that was one of them.
Yeah, but it was the only lawsuit where you had heard somebody had actually won against.
Jaguar didn't hold back. She said the documents straight up showed DNA testing that tied Diddy to the whole situation clear as day. And she made it perfectly clear that his name wasn't sitting there by accident. He was officially listed as a responsible party, which makes this hit even harder.
He was actually an investor in Bad Boy. And they've been keeping him monkeyed up in jail all of this time, so they ain't gotta pay him.
Hell, I want to know what justice for Derek looks like right now. Jeez. Hell.
He's entitled to 49% of whatever Combs Enterprise has amassed in the past 30 years. Almost 30 years. That's what he's entitled to. He already won a $100 million judgment. See, this is what was going on in the background while whatever that foolishness we just watched happen was happening. This was all going on in the background. It's starting to make you wonder if that trial happened to cover this up. Everything that they've done to ruin it so people would never believe a word that came out of his mouth. See, when you start here with these transcripts from 1998, which were sealed and then unsealed in 2007 and then sat there in the clerk's office and nobody knew about it because nobody knew to come and get it. Nobody knew where to get it. Different names on the same case number. They thought they were clever.
Then she shifted the spotlight straight onto Diddy's legal team. She claimed that one of his lawyers, Mark Aglow, wasn't just some random attorney. He had crossed paths with Derek years before in an indirect way, which makes the whole situation feel even more tangled and suspicious.
They're talking to me about these weird old lawyers, including Mark Agnifilo. You want to know what's funny? While Mark Agnifilo was sitting there making fun of baby oil and doing all of the stuff that he was doing in court and creating all of that nice guy hoopla, trying to get everyone to believe that Diddy is not such a terrible person and now he's a wonderful man and he deserves to go back to Madison Square Garden and he's going to be right there to cheer him on. Do you want to know where else he was? In Wayne County. Negotiating with Derek Lee Cordello Smith.
Wow.
His victim.
Wow.
Why would he be in negotiations with him if he actually believed that everything that he said in that courtroom was true?
Sounds like a fixer.
Sounds like a fixer.
She claimed that the same lawyer who just defended Diddy in public had also been meeting with Derek behind closed doors, and that Diddy himself showed up in Wayne County under an alias during those times. That kind of double-sided movement makes everything look even more shady and calculated.
Diddy went to that jail to visit Derek his damn self in 2024.
Oh, wow.
Guess what name he was using to go to that jail to visit Derek so nobody would know it was him?
John Smith?
Brother Love.
Oh, damn.
What is clergy?
Damn. This is very wild. What made you?
That's where he went. Just a couple of days before HSI raided all of his properties. What do I think about the powers that be? What you want me to think?
But wait, what made you find this rabbit hole to go down, and how many more rabbit holes do you believe there are?
Oh. See. I live in the rabbit hole. I don't believe in what everybody else believes in. I'm telling you something right now. When you got court officials that's sitting in court, they so brazen that they're actually threatening people.
That's very brazen.
Do you see Do you see how this is going to go?
To her, this whole thing wasn't just about whatever time Diddy might get. It was about a long, hidden chain of events, stretching back decades, all happening in the shadows. And now that everything is spilling out into the open, the big question is what this means for Diddy moving forward. Word on the street, and from several reputable media outlets, is that the courts might already be gearing up to extend his time behind bars, especially with all these new allegations coming to light.
Well, Sean Diddy Combs facing more time behind bars. His release date pushed back to June of 2028 instead of May of that same year. The news coming after reports of Combs drinking in prison, something he denies, after he was accepted into a rehab program in prison that could have reduced his sentence by up to a year. He's also been accused of making a prohibited three-way phone call from prison.
That's right. Diddy has reportedly been making phone calls from inside even though he's not allowed to, which is wild. What could be so serious that he'd risk getting judges heated all over again? Is he trying to block something that could damage him or whatever's left of his empire? Or is there still something out there he thinks could threaten his freedom if it gets exposed?
Combs' representative, Judah Engelmeyer, telling me by phone earlier today, Tom, that yes, a three-way call was made between one of Combs' lawyers, who did bring in another person on that call with Combs while he has been at Fort Dix, but that there was nothing improper about it. But again, that is not something that you were supposed to do at all, so those lawyers should have known better. As for drinking, he doubled down and said that Combs was not drinking and that, in fact, he's been admitted into this very specialized rehab program that Fort Dix offers is actually going to potentially lower his sentence.
Yeah.
He could be released earlier because of that. So they're saying he's done nothing wrong and that any reports that he has been drinking is completely not true.
Sarah, you know, after his trial, a lot of people said he got a legal victory. It looked like he was going to be on his way out in a couple of years. How far back does this set him now?
Well, we don't know yet, Tom, because you still have due process rights in prison, right? So there's going to be an incident report if he, in fact, was drinking or there's an allegation. Then he's going to go to hearing. And if he's found guilty of it, then there's going to be sanctions. The sanctions could be that he could essentially be thrown in the hole, the SHU, the special housing unit. He could lose his privileges and he could lose at least a minimum of 40 days of time credits, which is big. And I want to say this. Drinking in a BOP facility is as serious as committing murder in a BOP facility.
Is it really?
Yeah. As of 2020, the BOP changed the rules and reclassified drinking as one of the most severe charges in custody. So this is really serious.
Right now, Diddy could be hit with some heavy penalties, like getting sent to the special housing unit, basically the hole, losing his privileges, and even losing around 40 days of time credits, which would push his release date back even further. That's a serious setback. But here's where things get even more interesting. Reports say Diddy has been telling people he's working on a book, and that could open up a whole new set of legal problems because of New York's Son of Sam law. That law stops anyone convicted of a crime from making money off telling the story of what happened, so this move might stir up way more trouble for him.
I mean, I don't know to what extent this is sort of this callous sort of thinking on his part, or he just is an addict.
And you were telling me today he's writing a book.
And he's writing a book, which could cause him more problems under the Son of Sam law in New York. If he's monetizing on his crime.
This is all absolutely terrible if true. I mean, Combs made such a big deal about wanting to go to Fort Dix.
Yeah.
He's trying to get out sooner than the 50 months in prison, Tom. The idea that he would be violating rules left and right within 2 weeks of getting there is really unfathomable after, again, listening to him cry and sob in front of the judge just recently saying, I want to do good, I'm sober, and I want to be released to go home to my family. So again, and like you said, President Trump, he doesn't like drinkers, okay? He doesn't drink himself. His brother was an alcoholic, and so he has very strong opinions about that. He's talked about it. And if Diddy's seeking a pardon from President Trump before the new year.
Even though he's already burned through a ton of money fighting this case and dealing with nonstop bad press, it looks like Diddy might be heading straight into another war. This time with his own family. According to reports from the National Enquirer, people close to him say a major showdown is brewing over his $400 million fortune. Insiders claim his 7 adult children are lawyering up because they want control of the money, and they're trying to pull that power away from his 85-year-old mom, Janice, who's still sharp, alert, and not backing down for anybody. Earlier this year, stories came out saying the kids were spending big while Diddy was locked up inside Brooklyn's tough Metropolitan Detention Center with no bail. And since Diddy is behind bars, Legal experts say he needs to start protecting whatever assets he has left before things get even uglier on the outside. But people close to the family insist that Janice, the woman who raised Diddy and his sister on her own after losing their father back in 1972, isn't the type to step aside quietly. They describe her as tough as nails and say she's not letting anyone push her out when it comes to the fortune her son built. And here's where things get even more wild. Jaguar Wright has claimed that Janice Combs isn't actually Diddy's biological mother at all, which throws a whole new twist into this family fight and raises even more questions about what's really going on behind the scenes. This situation is getting messier by the day.
Did y'all see when they interviewed Dapper Dan about Diddy?
I haven't seen that one. Please.
They ran into Dapper Dan in Harlem and they asked him what he thought about what was going on with Diddy and if he knew Diddy. And I love Dapper Dan for this. He said, I grew up with his parents. He said, and what's going on with him has been going on long before him. Now, his father was a government snitch and a bad actor in the criminal world altogether. But there's whispers in the streets of Harlem that Diddy's mother isn't alive. Not his biological mother, but that woman is his aunt.
Whoa.
There are whispers.
Wait a minute.
There are whispers.
For Janice, this might be her biggest chance to grab hold of a serious chunk of money, especially now that she's 85 and seeing the window closing fast. And what's wild is that this kind of move is exactly what Boosie once claimed Cassie and her husband were trying to pull on Diddy too. Meanwhile, Diddy can't do anything but sit in that cell and watch the chaos build on the outside. But inside, he's apparently trying to keep himself together. A former cellmate even claimed that Diddy has turned into a sort of leader within the MDC. According to Castillo, once the whole celebrity glow faded away, he realized Diddy acted like any other man trying to survive in that environment. He described Diddy as humble, respectful, and focused on teaching and self-improvement while locked up. Castillo said he saw him every day since they lived in the same housing unit, and over time, he got to know him as just a regular human being, not the superstar everyone sees on the outside. Castillo also said Diddy wasn't the type to walk around trying to talk to everybody, but he wasn't standoffish either. He was approachable and carried himself like someone just trying to get through his time without extra drama. This whole situation keeps flipping in unexpected ways.
Advice or anything like that, he'll answer you 100%, and he was always willing to help, always willing to help. That's one thing I can say about him. I learned and got to love about him. He always gave you 100% of himself. He will set things to the side and make things his priority.
Like helping other inmates, you're saying?
Yes, helping other inmates.
Well, so that's another question. How did other inmates respond to him being there? I mean, was it divided? Was it some people were impressed, some people were starstruck, or, was it kind of like some people were angry?
At first, some people don't want to be groupies. They don't want to act like groupies. So they will try to act like, oh, that's Diddy, but we're not trying to be groupies. But as time went on, you gotta understand, we all grew up analyzing Diddy. Like, he's from New York City. We're from New York. So we grew up hearing and seeing the icon, the legend, like the mogul. So now we're actually living with him. So now we're studying him and analyzing him in person. So, I feel like we all got to recognize with time was that he's human. And he's like one of us.
Castillo says Diddy eventually kicked off a full-blown business and leadership class inside the facility, something he claims had never been done on that kind of scale in federal prison. Castillo was listed as the teacher's assistant and interpreter, and his role had him passing out homework, collecting assignments, taking notes, and helping new guys catch up so nobody fell behind. But the wildest part, according to him, wasn't the class itself. It was the people who showed up and sat in that room every week. The lineup was nothing anyone expected inside those walls.
You need to understand, this is something that has never been done in prison system ever. And especially in the federal system, it's about segregation. black sticks with black, white sticks with white, Spanish sticks with Spanish, especially gang members. So Diddy was able to unify everybody, bring us together in one classroom. And we would sit there and listen and teach, and he will teach us these business ventures of his and everything, and sort of come up with our plans and our goals and really set it in order and how to go forward with it. He will always tell us successful people do what unsuccessful people won't do, and about sacrifices.
Wow.
He will show us that the work that he was doing on others was important for us to like follow, not only just follow his footsteps, but put things into our own perspective and things like that. Like I could say in the program he showed all of us how to have faith in ourselves and believe.
He said the class centered on business planning, setting real goals, building discipline, sharpening your mindset, and sticking to better choices no matter what. Diddy reportedly kept repeating that successful people do what unsuccessful people won't. And he talked a lot about sacrifice and staying consistent to level up. But it wasn't some smooth, safe environment either. Far from it. Castillo made it clear that MDC is extremely dangerous, stressing that people are out here losing their lives inside Brooklyn's facility, and the tension is real every single day.
People's really dying in MDC Brooklyn. There's a war in there, there's violence, and there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of lost souls in there. People's hopeless. And you have people that's in there serving life. They have Sean Combs around murderers, people serving 30 years. So when you have things, when you facing those type of things, you have nothing to lose. Right. So it's very dangerous in there. It's very, very, very dangerous. I'm one of the lucky ones to say I made it out, because in there you could go in. I've seen brothers go in there and really lose their lives. Especially while Mr. Combs was in there, 2 people has lost their lives.
Right. I do remember reading.
Due to gang violence.
Yeah. Did he have a CO that was kind of near him? More than others, or not really?
Nah, he's a regular inmate just like everybody else.
Wow.
They might watch him. They might watch him just a little more at times, but he's just a regular inmate just like us. He's going through everything we're going through: the cold trays, the lockdowns, the police on the monitor us with the segregations. He is living what we're living. There is and there was no special treatment for Sean Diddy Combs. There's no favoritism for him in there at all.
So if Diddy was supposed to be in line for a pardon at first, but now he's getting caught drinking wine, making secret phone calls, and even getting jumped inside, does that mean the guards and the whole system stopped trying to shield him? It really looks like something shifted, like the word on the inside is that his sentence might be getting stretched out, so nobody's stepping in to help him anymore. Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you on the next one.